रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा, गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा। निताय गौरा हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. So welcoming everybody for this auspicious Japa session, and after Japa session we have a small class, and today's topic is 10 life lessons from Ramayana. So I request all the devotees to give a small pause to your Japa, and we shall be done soon. In the meantime, we will get to see 10 beautiful life lessons from Ramayana. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, visible.
Yes,
Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming. So this points I've taken from the lecture of His Grace Rukmini Das Prabhuji from Delhi, and very interesting points are there. So I thought I'll share, because recently we have celebrated Sri Ram Navami. So we will start. Sitaram Lakshman Bhakt Hanuman ki Jai. So 10 learnings from Ramayana. So remember when we were young, during our childhood, we used to hear stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata from our parents. So that was the time, and the stories are filled with so many examples that make a person very, very confident that we shouldn't live in a selfish manner. There's something called values which get placed in us when we listen to these nice pastimes of the Lord, and that is the whole purpose. The grandparents and the parents used to tell these stories. But of late, what is happening? The grandparents are also enjoying watching Spider-Man, Avengers, so and so. So they're telling the same stories to their children and grandchildren, etc. So the result is that the children are becoming, they're becoming monkey-like Spider-Mans. So we have to be careful. Spider-Man and all is fine, but the biggest powerful person, they say Spider-Man, Batman, but the biggest powerful person is Hanuman, which means Hanuman. So we have so many stories of how Hanumanji used to serve Lord Shri Ram. That is our lessons. So let me begin with the first slide. So lesson 1, we must seek guidance from the senior Vaishnavas. This is very, very important in our lives, because remember, we are practicing a life of Krishna consciousness, and practicing Krishna consciousness means we are trying to get out of the lap of Maya. Maya Devi, we were nicely sleeping on the lap of Maya. Like there is a nice Kirtan Bhaktivinoda Thakur has mentioned the Vaishnava song, Jeev Jago, Gauri Chandra Bole. Saying, stupid, you were sleeping from so many years, millions and millions of years. Now this is a time for you to get up, wake up. So now when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, it is like, we are trying to go away from Maya and go to Krishna. But like last time I was mentioning, Maya is not going to leave us very easily. The Maya has got, huge preachers in the form of internet. There was a statistics, I was looking into it. So they were saying around 78% of the people are the one whose mobile never gets switched off. They are always keeping their mobile on. And out of 100%, 80% of the people who are using internet, they are using it for the porn sites, for dirty internet sites. They are not using it for the productive purposes. So you can imagine how much what a large percentage of population is falling into the trap of Maya. So when we come to practicing bhakti, then Maya comes and allures us, with various options, because she knows where I'm going to fall down. So that is why it is important that we seek guidance from the senior devotees. We must share what we are going through with the senior devotees. There was a nice story I remember. It's an analogy. There was a hunter. He goes to the forest to hunt, and he is wearing a big overcoat. So now when he goes to forest and he's hunting, there is a jackal. When he hunts a jackal, suddenly what happens? The forest officer arrives there. So this person, he thought that he will get caught. So what he does, he takes this jackal and puts him in under his overcoat, and he pretends that there is nothing, and nothing happened. So the forest officer comes and he talks to him, and he is talking like, there is nothing happening. But this jackal who was shot by this hunter, he was not dead. So the jackal, what he did, he started biting this hunter from inside, and the hunter couldn't bring this jackal out because he was scared that he will be caught by this forest officer. So what was the outcome? This jackal, he started eating the vital organs of this hunter, and eventually, when the forest officer left, the hunter was also dead, because the jackal had already damaged the body of the hunter. So what happens here? This hunter, he tried to hide the jackal. So the Acharya says that this jackal is nothing like, it is our anarthas. When we are going through some anartha, something coming into our mind, and we are getting some dirty imagination, so we must go and share with our senior Vaishnavas and say that, Prabhuji, I am going through all this. Please pray for me. Please guide me. And then we can be saved. Otherwise, mind you, this is going to eat us apart, and we are going to be dead. We are going to lose the chance of practicing Krishna consciousness. That's just one example, but there are several examples. Before we get married, before we are planning to welcome a child, before we are planning to name the child, before we are planning to celebrate some ceremony, some events, some festivals, before we are going for the yatras, whatever it is, we must keep our senior Vaishnavas not informed, but take guidance from them that, Prabhuji, can I do this? Is it going to be good for me? Because our leaders, they know us very well, and then they're going to guide us to progress in the path of Krishna consciousness. They will help us to, give the right name to our child. Like my children, my first child, Om, he was named Om, because when we named him Om, that we were not in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so the fast breaking time is up. Thank you, Vivek Acharya Prabhu, for reminding. I think I can also take the Jagannath rice, and you all can also break the fast. Jagannath Krpamaya ki jai. Yes. So, yes, I was mentioning. So, see, my first child was named as Om, but I was just entering Krishna consciousness. That time Shivash Prabhu told me that name him as Vaman, but I was very, very unfortunate. I was just 1 month old in Krishna consciousness, and I couldn't take that instruction. So I'm just regretting. Sometimes I feel that, Om tells me that, why don't you change my name now to Vaman? So I'm still considering that, so that will be fine. Then my second child, Gopal, he was named by Shivash Prabhuji. He said his name is Nirbhay Gopal, but we are going to call him Gopal. Then Keshav, by the guidance of Matrapati Prabhuji, I requested our Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj gave him this name, Keshav Govinda. So see, that is what happens when we take the association of the Vaishnavas and we take guidance from the Vaishnavas. So benefit of taking guidance here, you see, Dasharath Maharaj, he had got all the opulence, but he was still unhappy. So what he did not try to do something on his own. He went to Vasishtha and his minister. Mind you, his minister was also very, very intelligent and very much wise. So he took guidance from them, and because of them, because of their guidance, he performed this yagna, and the outcome was that he got 4 beautiful sons, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughan. So, and then it became history. So that is the importance. We must take the guidance from the senior Vaishnavas. So when we take guidance, we are going to get good suggestions. We get the blessings of senior devotees, and it guarantees our safety. We are not going to be in trouble. So very, very important point. That's why this is slide number 1. So let me go to slide number 2. We must be careful with the association we take. You see, can you name this person, old lady here, who created history in Ramayana? Anybody? It's on the screen also.
Mandara. Prabhu, nothing is on the screen, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, are you not able to see the screen?
No, Prabhu, only one Excel format is there, that's all.
Okay,
Nothing
let me just.
saying.
Let me just share it again.
Mantra.
Mandara.
Mantra, Guruji.
Mantra.
Thank you, all of you. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, Prabhu. Now we can see it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for confirming, Mataji. Yes. So here you see, Kekai, she loved Sri Ram more than her own sons. You know, when they were going to Gurukul, she was crying. When they came from Gurukul, she was so happy. And till the day of, when Lord Sri Ram was going to become the king, she was celebrating. And then comes this mantra, and she brainwashes Kekai, and she tells things like that, which pollutes the mind of Kekai. So we must be very, very careful. And this happens to all of us, not only people who are non-devotees, but also with the devotees it happens. There will be somebody who can come and pollute our mind. So we must remember, few things, that I am not the body, I am the spirit soul, and I have got this human body, and the best purpose of this human body is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to serve the Vaishnavas. And then, like Guru Maharaj was mentioning, more than the Lord, the name of the Lord is merciful, and more than the Lord, the devotees are so merciful. So we must nicely chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, follow 4 regulative principles, and love and care the Vaishnavas sincerely. So these are the things, these are the realities. We must remember them always, write it down somewhere so that you don't forget. Read it every day. Because what happens, somebody in the form of mantra will come, and you see person like Kekai can be destroyed. Her destiny was so bad after that, she became the reason for the death of Dashrath Maharaj. She was called as the reason for Lord Sri Ram to go to the forest, and people started hating her like anything. Even Bharat, he said, I do not want to be called as your son, because what a great harm you have done to me. Now people are thinking so much bad about me that, Bharat wanted to become the king, and Bharat was such a nice servant of Lord Sri Ram. So she became bad in everybody's eyes, and that was momentarily, her mind was disturbed for some time, but she came into her senses very soon, but that was very late. So we must be very, very careful not to take the association of non-devotees. And mind you, those non-devotees can be our own very good friends, our own family members, our own relatives, in-laws, what not. Whatever it is, care for them, respect them, but do not take their association, because they're going to take away our Krishna consciousness. People can say, it is okay, today you can take one samosa, what is the problem? You are anyways eating prasadam every day, And Guru Maharaj is saying, if you take anything from the non-devotees, your mind is going to be polluted. In yesterday's quote, Guru Maharaj is mentioning very carefully that we must not eat anything which is not prepared by the devotees. In the same manner, your friend will say, come, we will go for a movie. You have not seen movie from so many months. Come, we'll go. There is a latest movie which is coming. So we must be confident enough not to, associate and say no. And when is this going to happen? This is going to happen only when we are reading Prabhupada books daily, when we are associating with the Vaishnavas daily. If we are not associating with the Vaishnavas daily, not reading Prabhupada book, so we might think that they are enjoying. Material world people are enjoying. But in material world, nobody can enjoy. You can go and ask anybody, they are not enjoying. They are just thinking they're enjoying, and their enjoyment is momentarily, which follows with lot of sorrow. And of course, with the kind of action people do, there is lot of reactions which are going to come in the upcoming, birth which they are going to take. So let us be very, very careful. Yesterday, Bhadrapati Prabhuji was sharing that we have to see from the eyes of Shastras. So we shouldn't be thinking that, okay, there is nothing, we take birth, we die, and how much of our enjoyment we can do, let us enjoy. You can see the entire history. Nobody was able to enjoy. Those who enjoyed, they suffered badly and they died very soon. So any example you can see from the past, whether it is Mughals, whether it is Britishers, whether it is Indians, Hindus, Muslims, anybody you can see, they were not able to enjoy, because the material world, nobody can enjoy. Enjoyer is only Krishna. So this is important. Do not associate with the non-devotees, and rather take association of the devotees. Because if you see, when people who were taking association of the devotees, they benefited like anything. I'm sure you would have heard the story of that prostitute who went to disturb Haridas Thakur. She took his association for 3 days, and Haridas Thakur kept on chanting the holy name. And 4th day, she became a Vaishnavi. She gave up all that bad occupation, and she took the shelter of Haridas Thakur. She started doing Tulsi Puja and chanting the holy name of the Lord. So see, We must take association, but taking association of the Vaishnavas works wonder. Whereas when we take association of the non-devotees, we are only going to suffer. It is going to put us into trouble. So this was the second lesson learned, that we must be careful with the association we take. So lesson number 1 was we must seek guidance from the senior devotees. And lesson number 2 is that we must be careful with the association we take. So now let us move on to the third lesson. I hope my slide number 3 is also visible. So be attached to the service and not designation. So in this slide, it is mentioned Lord Shri Ram was supposed to become the king. But when he was told that he will have to go to forest, so Lord Ram did not show any frustration. He was more concerned about the instructions of his father and the services he had to render. Just give me a second. Yes. So it is mentioned that he was more concerned about the instructions of his father and the services he had to render. So this time, many times this happens to us when we are rendering the service. We become attached to the designation. We say, I want to serve like a leader. I want to serve like a boss. I want to serve wherein I can give instructions. It is not like that. You know, in our temple, you would have seen all the senior Vaishnavas, senior devotees. Even they are so much, they so much participate in the service along with all the devotees. But it doesn't mean that as a junior devotee, we must expect the seniors to come and do the service. No. When we are there, we must ensure that our seniors are not pushed into the service. Whereas, our seniors are always there, excited to join for the service, but they have got higher responsibilities. They have responsibilities to conduct the meeting. They have the responsibility to make strategies for preaching. They have the responsibility to attend so many meetings in the temple, in sector, circles, so many things are there. And if those meetings are not there, then we will not be able to progress. So that is why they have more responsibilities, they have more services. So as a neophyte, when we join, we must take up more and more service, and we must relieve our seniors. So that's the point. Any service, whether it is toilet cleaning, chappal stand, grooming, mopping, anything which we do for the service of the Lord, it has got equal value. In one of the lecture, when Prabhuji was mentioning, the temple pujari gets the same benefit as it is received by the chapel stand maintainer. So they both receive the same benefit. It is not that the temple pujari who is worshipping the Lord, standing very close to him, gets more benefit. No, even somebody who's maintaining the chapel stand also gets a similar benefits. And that is how you see Lord Shri Ram, he was about to become the king. But when he was told that, no, you have to go to forest, just imagine if this happens to us. Suppose we are getting a very, very nice offer and somebody says, no offer. Now you have to go live in some forest. That's it. And no food. For 14 years, you eat only the, fruits, vegetables. Yesterday, we celebrated Ekadashi. And I'm sure today many people will be thinking that, okay, fast breaking time is up. So, okay, now let us, we can prepare our nice dishes and we can eat. But see, here, Lord Shri Ram, he was eating kandamul, he was eating fruits, he was eating those roots for 14 years. And who is eating? Shri Ram, Lord is eating, who has got everything, So that's the power. See, these are the great personalities. We must always keep them in our mind. And then we are going to be very, very strong and positive, like Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, lesson number 4. So the lesson number 4 is that we must be positive in all situations and accept it as a mercy of the Lord. So this is very, very important. When we are practicing Krishna consciousness, many times there will be ups and downs. Prabhupada says that we must be like rubber ball. The rubber ball, how hard it goes down, in the same manner it bounces back. So we need to always bounce back. We are not here to feel morose, disappointed, distressed, and waste our valuable human life. We are here to make the most of this human life. And mind you, this distress, sadness, sorrowness, it is not for the devotees. Because if you're feeling sorrow, then it means that you do not believe in the God. You do not believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. When Krishna is saying that when you are in my service, I'm going to take you away from this material world. You are going to be my eternal associate. Then why do we worry when we are taking diksha from bona fide acharyas? Then why do we worry? Are we going to be worried about small difficulties which are going to come in our way? No, we are not here to do that. We are here to focus on our Krishna consciousness, because we do not want to miss even a single second of human life thinking about all those things. Yes, we are here to do our duty as a father, as a mother, as a parent, as a teacher, as a when as an employee, everything, we will do our duty, but we are not going to be disappointed with the outcomes, because when we are in the service of the Lord, remember Krishna is saying, I'm going to give you what is good for you, and I'm not going to give something which is going to be bad for you. So don't think that if I get a promotion, then I am growing. If I get a very nice, family relationships, then I'm growing. If I'm becoming very famous, then I'm growing. No, you are growing when you are nicely doing Krishna conscious activities. You are growing when you are following the instructions of your guru, when you are growing when you are keeping your senior leaders happy. So that is called growth. So we must be positive in all situations. And you see here, any situation we have to accept it as a mercy of the Lord. Here, example of Lord Sri Ram, Lakshman and Mother Sita were always having a very positive attitude. They accepted the clothes of sages and were keen to make use of this opportunity in taking association of the sages in the forest. So when they were going to forest, same thing happened to Dhruv Maharaj, same thing happened to the Pandavas. When they went to the forest, they did not think that, oh, forest, there will be wild animals, oh, there will not be nice, YouTube will not be there, Netflix will not be there. They did not think like that. They did not think that there is going to be very nice bed for me. There will not be any, car for me, bike for me, nothing. They were just thinking that what is the best thing I can use? Okay, in the forest, there are so many sages. Let us take their association, and they become blissful. And mind you, Duryodhana became very sorrowful when he went to the forest. He wanted to see if the Pandavas are suffering. And he goes to the forest and he sees that Pandavas are enjoying like anything. Krishna is there, Pandavas are there, nice atmosphere of forest is there. Even the birds are enjoying, animals are enjoying. And wherever there is Hari Katha happening, everybody is blissful. The speaker is blissful. The people who are hearing, they are blissful. Even insects, birds, everybody is blessed. So such a nice atmosphere. And Duryodhana was thinking, these people, they are enjoying there so much, and I'm not able to enjoy in my palace, because we are not in the service. So when we are in the service of the Lord completely, we are immersed in his thoughts, or immersed in thoughts of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then there is going to be only happiness. Krishna is also telling this particular shloka 2 times in Bhagavad Gita. Man mana bhavo mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Krishna is saying, think about me, worship me, offer obeisances to me. Krishna is not saying this because Krishna wants this. Krishna is saying this because Krishna knows you want happiness. This is how you can get happiness. You want peace. This is how you can get peace. That is why Krishna is telling this shloka 2 times in Bhagavad Gita, not 1 time. Let us move on to the next lesson. In the interest of time, yes, I will go quickly. Lesson number 5, give priority to the wishes of the Lord and not our own desires. Bharat and all the ministers went to forest to get Lord back. However, Lord Ram wanted Bharat to rule. Bharat had no desire to become the king, but he gave priority to the wishes of the Lord. So you see, this is the important thing now. In today's world, if one politician steps down, there will be 10 who will be waiting to become king. Okay. And one brother gives up the property, there will be all the other brothers very, very happy. Oh, yeah, you're giving up. Very good, very good. This is not good. I will take care of it. They will be very happy. Brothers are fighting for property. There are murders. There are, crime happening for the property. Now here you see this example. Lord Sri Ram is telling Bharat, you become the king. And Bharat is saying, I do not want to become the king. My dear Lord, you have to become the king. And that is why Bharat did not come alone in the forest. He came along with all the mothers. He came along with the ministers. He came along with the entire Praja. He came along with the army. So he wanted to tell Lord Sri Ram that all these people want you to become the king, my dear Lord. I do not want to become the king. But you see here, Lord Sri Ram is telling Bharat, no, you have to be my representative and you have to become the king. See, what a nice example. Once I was hearing a lecture, Radhesham Prabhuji was sharing that there was a family in which there were some quarrels going on. So the father of the family, he invited Radhesham Prabhuji, and Radhesham Prabhuji spoke about these topics of Ramayana. And the end result was that these brothers, they got united. Finally, they understood what they were fighting was nothing. It is going to be momentarily. And the best thing is unite together and work for the service of the Lord. So that is why we must give priority to the wish of the Lord and not our own desires. So you must be wondering, what is the priority of the wish? The Lord is saying, I am waiting for all of you to come back to me. So which means the priority of the wish is that we grow up in our Siksha level. If you are a Shraddhavan doing 1 round, try to go to the level of Sevak. If you are a Sevak, try to go to the level of Sadhak. If you are a sadhak, try to go to the level of Upasak, Rupada Ashray, Guru Ashray. And if you are already sheltered, then take the initiation. That is the wish of the Lord. The wish of the Lord is not that, okay, he doesn't want you to enjoy this so-called material world for some more months, years altogether. The more young you are, the better it is to take up the Krishna consciousness and be happy, because once you get initiated, once you start following all this, you become very happy. You're not going to be dependent on all these so-called enjoyments. So let us not become like a camel who goes to the forest and he eats those thorns. And when there is a blood coming and he's tasting that blood, he's thinking, oh, I'm enjoying so much blood. It is so much enjoyment. But that stupid camel, he doesn't know that this blood is his own blood, which is coming from his tongue. So there is no enjoyment in this material world. I can guarantee you for this. I can watch you for this, and I can have a debate with you on this. There is no enjoyment in this material world. At least I have seen there is nothing. If there is no Krishna consciousness, there is zero enjoyment in this material world. There is only a drop of enjoyment, but it follows with so much sorrow. So let us not try to take that drop. It is going to make us all the more morose. Let's move on to the next learning, lesson number 6. Bhokta is only the Lord and not us. So Prabhupada was mentioning in one of the lecture, he was saying that when we learn, if we become Krishna conscious devotee, then we will understand that Bhokta is only Krishna. And then when I know that I'm not going to be the enjoyer, you are not going to be the enjoyer, then why there is a fight? He tells the story of two cats. The two cats, they were fighting. I want more, my chapati, half chapati, like they were fighting. So one monkey comes and he says, wait, I will do one thing. I will make it half. So monkey, he tells both the cats, is it equal? So one cat says, no, that portion is more. So he says, okay, let me eat that. He eats that portion and he says, now is it equal? So the other cat says, no, that is more. So he says, okay, I'll eat that. So like that, the monkey, he keeps eating, and finally he finishes both the portion of chapatis, and the cats are still hungry. So let us not become like those cats, fighting amongst each other to enjoy. Bhokta is only the Lord, and it is said that Jo karega bhog, usko lagega rog. So we are not here to take a bhog. Bhoga is only offered to the Lord. We only accept the remnants, which is the prasadam. So let us involve Krishna in everything, and let us not try to become the Bhokta. You must be wondering, yes, Prabhuji, there are so many people who are enjoying in this material world. They go to the theme park, they get nice cars, they get nice motorbikes, they just go to the nice places, beaches, they have so many girlfriends, they are enjoying. No, they are not enjoying. You go and ask them, they are suffering so much. That enjoyment lasts for only some time. They lose so much money, and then it comes with so many problems, so many calamities. Extramarital relationship, people get into it, and then it follows with so many troubles, murders, killings. Olden days stories were made in the movies. They used to say love triangle. Now I don't know if it is triangle. I think it has become hexagon or octagon, because now there are not 3 people involved in a relationship. There are multiple people involved in a relationship, and they're thinking they're enjoying. They're not enjoying. They're just fooling around with each other, and they're becoming all the more hungry and hungry. I'll touch upon this point on slide number 8 more. Let us move on. So the next learning, lesson number 7. Yes. So do your duty pleasing the Lord and not care for victory or loss. So this is also very nice. You see here, Jatayu, he was 60,000 years old bird. And whom is he going to fight? He is going to fight Ramana, who is so powerful. Ramana was so powerful that even the demigods were scared of him to come in front of him. When they used to hear the name of Ramana, they used to shiver. And you see here, the bird Jatayu, so old, he did not care for his life. He just pounced upon Ramana and he started fighting to protect Mother Sita. So the point here is that, if we think, oh, Prabhuji, I don't know whether I'll be able to do this or not. Oh, I'm so much scared to speak on the stage. Oh, I don't know whether this is possible for me. I can't do this, Prabhuji. I cannot preach. I cannot take up Krishna consciousness now. I cannot chant more rounds. I have so many things. So what is happening? We are so much scared. We are worried about victory or loss. But here you see example of Jatayu. He is not caring for his life also, and he is doing his duty. So that is what happens when we are in Krishna consciousness. We have a duty, and we become very selfish if I'm taking care of only myself, my own chanting, my own reading, my own services. Then I'm very selfish. Krishna will not like that. Krishna says in 18.68 Bhagavad Gita, that if you are going to share this transcendental secret with others, then you become my favorite. And then in the next shloka 18.69, Krishna is saying that if you are sharing these secrets to others, you are my dearmost devotees, and there is nobody who is going to be dearer than you, and not there was anybody who is going to be dearer. So Krishna is straight away saying that you start preaching. If you preach, you become my dearmost. Do you not want to become dearmost of the Lord? If you want to become, do not care about victory or loss, just jump in and you will have the guidance of the Vaishnavas. Take up the preaching seva. Just imagine if all the Radha Gopinath circle, we have got 100+ members. If everybody becomes a preacher, sincere preacher, just imagine how soon, we are going to flood this Bangalore city from devotees. It will be devotees and devotees everywhere. And just imagine how happy our Guru Maharaj will become. And when Guru is becoming happy, just imagine how Krishna is going to become happy. And you see here, what was the end of Jatayu? Even though Jatayu suffered death, but Lord Ram, he became very touched and he performed the final rites of Jatayu, and he provided Jatayu his own destination. So you see that Jatayu, how quickly he got the destination. He was not supposed to chant 16 rounds. He was not, he didn't have to do all those services. He did one service perfectly, and he got the, mercy of the Lord. So lesson number 8, yes, this is very important. I will just spend 2 minutes in this. So when we satisfy our greed and desire, it increases more and becomes the cause of our destruction. So like in the last session, I was mentioning, there is nobody who has become happy by this so-called sense gratification of, satisfying the sex desire. We discussed the examples of Ajamila. He just saw one bad scene and he got attached to that. He married a prostitute. He got 10 children, and that was his sex desire. And then he heard the example of Saubari Muni. He heard those 2 fishes mating in the water, and then he came out and he married 100 women. See how much lusty a person can become. Not only this, we have several examples. You have Ravana here, who had got thousands and thousands of females, women in his kingdom, but he still got attracted to Mother Sita. So this is something which never ends. You have the Mughal Empire Emperor Akbar's example. He got 3 legal wives, but 1,000 illegal wives, but he was not satisfied. So in the end, he is asking, Mughal Emperor Akbar is asking Birbal, that Birbal, when is this sex desire going to go away from my mind? So Birbal says, it will never go away from your mind. So this, Akbar is saying, no, when I grow old, definitely this will go away. But Birbal says, no, it will not go away. So the Akbar, he did not believe this. So Birbal had to take him to a person who was dying. And he said, when you're coming tomorrow, bring your youngest daughter. So the youngest daughter was so beautiful, so pretty, and she was princess. So she comes along with his father Akbar to see this old man along with Birbal. So this old man, he was talking to Akbar and Birbal, but his eyes were always focused on the daughter of Akbar. So Birbal indicates to Akbar and he says, see that this man is on the deathbed. He's going to die any moment. But where is he looking? He's looking at your daughter with those lusty desires. So Akbar says, no, probably his eyesight is fixed at one direction. That's why you are thinking. So Birbal says, okay. So he brings Akbar's daughter from one side, from right to left. And what happens? This guy is looking into left. And the moment she comes into right, he starts looking into right direction. Then Akbar gets shock of his life, and he understood that this sex desire is never ever going to be satisfied. So the more we involve in it, the more it will become big. That's why I quoted all these examples. So when we are practicing Krishna consciousness in the Grahastha ashram, also we are allowed to meet only one time, not more than that, because it is the biggest hurdle in our Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying the material world is bound by this sex desire. It is called Maithuna Agraha. Maithuna means sex desire, Agraha means bounded by the chains. So these chains can open only when we surrender to the Lord. Like last time we were discussing, if you are having some disturbance in your mind, share it off with your senior Vaishnavas and they will help you out to come out of this. But if you just keep it in your mind, it is going to eat you up like those jackal who killed that hunter. So that was slide number 8. If you try to satisfy more and more, it is going to become more and more. Here you see the example of Ramana, who was a king. He had all the powers, many queens. But when he heard of Mother Sita, his lusty desires increased more and more. it also became the cause of the destruction of the entire demon community. Not only Ravana, but entire, Lanka was destroyed because of this one desire. So you see how dangerous can this be. Let's move on to slide number 9. When we are in service, we must focus on the service. So Hanumanji was offered to take some rest by Mainak. So Mainak mountain, there is a nice story I will tell maybe some other time. So Mainak mountain came out of the ocean. He says, why don't you rest, on me for some time, because you're going for the service of the Lord. So Hanumanji says, no time for resting. I'm going for the service of the Lord. So there is no time for resting. Maybe I'll rest later. Let me go and finish up the service first. And you see another example of Lakshman. He did not sleep for 14 years. If we sleep 3 hours, 4 hours, we are complaining, oh Prabhuji, yesterday I could sleep only 3 hours and there is no proper sleep. You see here, Lakshmanji, he did not sleep for 14 years. You see, Prabhupada, he used to sleep only 2.5 hours. So that's the point, 1 hour, 2.5 hours, that was the sleeping time of Prabhupada. So when we are in the service, we must focus on the service. Last point coming up, take complete shelter of the holy name of the Lord. Hanumanji lost his enthusiasm when he was unable to find Mother Sita in Lanka, but he takes the shelter of holy name and immediately could find Mother Sita. So Hanumanji was thinking, oh, I could not find Sita. Now I think if I go like this, then Lord Sri Ram, when he sees the Sita is not there, then he will not be able to bear this and he will die. And then when Lord Ram will die, so Lakshmana will commit suicide. Then when Ram and Lakshmana are no more, so Sugriva will commit suicide. And when Sugriva commits suicide, then entire monkey army which is there, they are going to die because there is no king. So when the mothers, 3 mothers, when they hear about this catastrophe, so even they are going to die, and then all the Ayodhya citizens, they are going to die. So that was running in the mind of Hanumanji. It was a kind of fear which had developed. So Gauranga Prabhuji says, fear means false evidence appear real. They are not real, they are just appearing because we are getting disturbed. So that point of time, Hanumanji takes shelter of the holy name of the Lord, and he starts thinking about the holy name. He starts taking the holy name, and then he hears somebody taking the name of Ram, and that was Vibhishan in Lanka. And then he goes to Vibhishana and then finds out the further ways to find Mother Sita. So that is why we must take complete shelter of the holy name, and that is how we can be safeguarded. And this is how we come to end of this topic. Wishing you a very, very happy Ram Navami. And this is dedicated to our dear Guru Maharaj. And thank you, Madrapati Prabhuji, for giving this opportunity. I am very sorry for extending. I will not repeat this going forward. And also these points are taken from His Grace Rukmini Das Prabhuji from Delhi. Thank you all very much. If you have any questions, you are welcome. And if you want to make any corrections also, you are welcome. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.